Hello, everybody, and welcome back to another Toonkind at 12 FPS. My name is Avi, and today I will be playing your local real kind thief boy in his element. We're still in Yeddo, guys. Arata Satomi. And with me today is my wonderful, wonderful friend.
Hello, I am Oatmeal, and I will be playing the Professor, a real kind time traveling alien.
Alright. So,
Everybody's been going
we're
through it, huh?
yeah, everybody's been going through it except Arata, apparently.
Well,
Maybe. Maybe. He's feeling something. But that's why we're here today.
yeah.
So it's been a while on this trip in Okashima, and things have been happening, trademark.
Mm-hmm.
Um the last time you Professor were on screen in Yeddo, at least in perspective of this FPS, it was Under the Microscope with
Yes.
Camille and Leo, and boy, you sure did find stuff out.
Yeah, we did. Yeah. There was a glorious thing that happened by chance, and it just opened a lot of doors.
Yeah.
the
God.
them hammer space rolls.
God. Of all the things that could have been fumbled, man, that is some kind of luck. I don't know they're bad, but we're here now.
Yeah. Yup.
Um, um,
Yeah, that was when Professor was on screen last.
yeah, that was when Professor was on screen last. So there is definitely something that you have to talk to Arata about. There's also been, like, I believe you said there was like something else that the professor wanted to chat with him about.
He had, well, uh, he had a question which was like, hey, this, like, change of heart thing. What is that? Because he doesn't know. He never asked.
Oh my god.
So, I honestly, I think he's gonna start with that because the other stuff is, like, marginally related, and, like, he doesn't wanna.
Yeah. That is fair enough. Um, so it happens that you guys that you manage to, like, probably grab a hold of Arata on, like, a good day,
Mm-hmm.
and he has invited you to go fishing um in this area in Okashima. Um, I'm going to be real. I am, like, blanking on the, like, actual name of the place.
It's right
Uh,
near the station,
yeah.
um, which is, uh,
Fun fact for people who are listening and have never played Persona 5, a lot of the locations in the game are really close to real world Tokyo.
oh, Ichigaya.
Ichigaya. Yeah, there we go. Um, so, like, that's what this place is based on. I have not XP named the place.
That's
Don't
fair.
ask me to. Um, um, uh, but, like, yeah, he's invited you to go fishing with him. Just chill. Uh, you know, two dudes fishing.
Yeah, no, and he's happy to. He quite enjoys fishing. He's very
Yeah.
enthusiastic about this.
So like it is like a more of a public place. Arata probably like rents out a fishing pole and like will probably like offer to get you one too. Um,
He might have one. I mean, he does have one. He might just bring his own.
bring your own fishing pole.
Walks out of the
Um,
hotel with a giant fishing pole, like, what's this guy doing?
God, that's right. I was thinking like the other day about how Professor just has the ellipsis in his hotel room, and I'm like, this is a high-end hotel.
There's all these
Room
people
service
coming.
probably has come through at some point.
Yes, yes, yes.
Like, what are you going to do? Like, what do you do in that scenario? Do you just leave it there?
Yeah. Like, are they gonna ask? Like, if they ask, it's just like, well, that's my box. Listen, I used to clean hotels. You don't. You just let it be. Don't ask.
God. God, okay. Oh my god. I lost track of where I was. Yeah, so
We
you
have,
bring
yeah.
your own fishing pole. Arata does not own one, so he probably like rents one while you're there. But it is probably finds like a good like secluded area away from like most of the crowd, and it's also kind of later in the day, so it's a little quieter. But it is a peaceful day as you two are just sitting and fishing.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. And, the professor is mostly just, like, pleased. He's just, uh, enjoying himself. But, after, a bit, um, he, just sort of makes sure that there's, like, nobody, like, right near them or passing them or whatever. Um, make sure that, like, anybody else is either too far away, that the city noise would cover them or whatever. But he goes, Arata, I've been meaning to ask you, about, well, you, uh, steel hearts. What exactly does that mean?
Give me a sec. I just rolled a really quick survival because I want to see how well he's doing. He's trying.
Alright, let me see. Holy shit. I got a nat 20. I can't.
It's very You did say the professor enjoys fishing.
He doesn't even have that good of a survival, but rolled good.
Sure did roll good.
God.
Yeah, Narada also probably probably like takes a moment to look around. Doesn't roll perception for him because he would be like very careful. What's your modifier? Ever since you leveled up, I have forgotten your modifiers. Okay. Okay,
And
yeah.
I think the
That's about right.
professor just sort of like sees him doing that, and in Quarry he says, "Or would this be better?"
Yeah, and then he like kind of nods and he says, God, what exactly was the question? It was like, what does that do?
You,
Or like,
it was like, so you steal hearts. What exactly does that mean?
and Arata just kind of shrugs and says, that's a little hard to explain. And you do see him like kind of like lean his head forward and like start fidgeting with the fringe of his hair.
Mm-hmm.
He is talking in Quarry.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Yeah, the professor will too.
yeah. Um,
Right.
and he looks like he pauses for a moment, like he's trying to like figure out how to word this without putting like uh without revealing too much because he still uh has a team to look out for.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but
The professor was going to offer up like what he did know.
all right.
So he just sort of like sees the hesitation and he's like, I know it has to do with uh, the Paraverse, which is part of Dalcor. I know that there are palaces in it and cognitions, and you go into them, which people normally can't do. Um, and I imagine that has something to do with being a Kalashtar, and I imagine that a lot of the spirit rogues are Kalashtar, if not all of them. I know that Jeannie is from the Valor Room, and the Valor Room is connected, and you're a wild card, and they chose you. Um,
Are you just gonna keep going?
oh, honestly,
Gonna
yes. Like,
interject? Yeah, like Arata's like, okay, okay. And he says, all right. Um, I mean, yeah, the velour room is connected, but they don't really have a hand in like any of that. They mostly just help out.
mhm.
Um, but the thing with palaces, and he takes a deep breath and exhales like he's trying to find like a good starting point
Mm.
that would make sense. And he says, you know how sometimes people will have like really warped perceptions of the world around them, and like for some reason or another that makes them think of themselves differently from other people around them? uh
Yes.
Distorted cognitions.
Yes.
uh if a distortion is strong enough, um it can manifest in the Paraverse as a palace. That's really all a palace is. It's just a replication of something they visualize in the material plane, but it's
Mm-hmm.
just how they view it,
Uh
what it looks like in their cognition.
huh. A manifestation of their worldview.
Hmm. But there is always going to be a source of that distortion
A person.
somewhere. Sorry?
A person.
Ugh. Sort of. Um, it's think of the actual distortion as a seed,
Hmm.
and the person watering it and the palace being the flower it blooms into.
Hmm. Mm-hmm.
So there is always going to be a source of that distortion.
Hmm.
If you remove that distortion from the palace, the palace will crumble uh, on its own,
Mm-hmm.
and the person in reality um, will no longer have that distorted worldview.
That's how you get to the confessions.
Yes.
Hmm. Hmm. And people realizing what they've done, even if they don't necessarily stop being a jerk,
Mm-hmm.
they at least understand realistically the situation.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hmm.
That's why we started calling it um, taking hearts. You're not really so much tampering with the person's like heart, but the heart of the distortion.
Ah. Uh huh. Yeah, the source of it. I suppose it makes sense.
Besides, it sounds cooler on paper.
Yeah, it does. It's very romantic. Not that kind of romantic, you know, the other kind of romantic.
No, no, I was following.
Alright.
My boyfriend's an artist. He throws those adjectives around a lot.
That's fair. Huh. Well.
That's oh,
Oh, no, yes?
but that's why people haven't been able to figure out how we do stuff like that. It's not necessarily enchantment magic. There's no.
Mm.
It is a lot of legwork.
Right.
A lot of legwork.
Mm-hmm. It's not a spell, it's not even a ritual. It is going to a place and taking something from it, even if that place is semi abstract.
And he nods.
It can be accessed because there's a plane that makes that physical, which that it just exists, the plane of dreams, and by extension, uh, the sort of the part that these take place in the Paraverse.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
Supposedly, and you see Arata kind of like as he talks, he takes off his like glasses and like starts cleaning them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and he says, supposedly, this wasn't always the case with the Paraverse or the collective unconscious or whatever you want to call it. Um,
Hmm.
at least that's what Jiro used to say. I think it might have something to do with like interference from the Holy Grail.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it probably did something, and as a result, palaces still kind of just form on their own.
Uh. Hmm. Interesting. And it didn't used to be that way. Hmm. Well, that's a little concerning.
I mean, yeah, but I don't even know how to begin to look into something like that. Valcor is pretty big on its own.
Yeah.
and I am usually located in one part of it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Huh. And if I remember right, you've got um, you've got these coins that let you what get into these places. Do they?
he um he reaches into his bag, uh, and you see Genie is like passed TF out in his bag, and he just kind of like gently scoots Genie over something. Um, and what he pulls out is a very odd looking sending stone.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, there is a strange marking on it. Let me actually see if I can pull up a really quick image.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I remember from Two-Faced, uh, we saw these at least briefly.
Yeah. You I think you sensed it with Detective Magic.
Sammy did.
Sammy did.
Yeah.
Uh
I
uh
I was thinking
Aha!
about that.
I have found it.
Oh, nice. I was thinking about
Okay.
that nat 20, and I think I think that just means that like Professor caught like a really good fish and just has it. Like,
Cause it has a goddamn fish, and like Arata's just like, okay.
yeah, like, hey, I could bring this back to Sammy. I'm sure he'd love to cook it. Ah, very nice.
Yeah.
Very
There is a very strange symbol on it in the shape of an eye, a very stylized eye.
mm,
Um, but the pupil is shaped like a star,
mm,
and he holds it out for you to like look at it.
mm-hmm.
Um, um, and he says, a couple days after I first moved here to Okashima, I found this in my bag.
Oh.
I think it might have been the Holy Grail.
Oh.
Yeah. So, one reason or another, probably to play that stupid game, I ended up in a Paraverse. So,
Hmm.
that's it. Azumi's got one like it.
Mm-hmm. Where did he get his?
And Arata just shrugs and he says, I never got the chance to ask Kazumi.
Hmm. I wonder if it was a similar situation.
Probably.
Hmm. Well, I mean, you might get the chance to ask him soon enough. He did actually go out the other day.
Did he?
Apparently, yeah. Well, he snuck out. I didn't see him, but the Ellipsis told me.
Oh, at least he's heading out, I guess.
Right. I mean, just the fact that he left his room is, you know. Hmm.
You see him kind of like rub a hand against his face and then like puts his glasses back on.
Mm-hmm. Hmm. Well, um, another thing that happened.
Oh boy.
um, well, I was talking with Camille and Leo. Camille introduced me. Um, and they were going. Camille was going through his hammer space for something, and ended up fumbling and took out this blue butterfly charm. And Leo had an identical one, or they were a set, and uh, they both were very confused by them. Said they couldn't remember where they came from, and they said that you seemed to be familiar with it, but also couldn't remember where you'd seen it. Um, and there were a few other odd things, like they apparently both know Celestial and don't remember learning it. Um, they remember being in the velour room, and
They what?
they remember in some sort of dream way, like not clearly. They remember being in the not physically there. They seemed very adamant about that. Um, but they remember being in the velour room. They know what it is, and they know a few individuals from it. Um, let's see. They said they met Anastasia recently. I don't know if they would have
Oh yeah.
met her back then, um, but back then, I mean, they named a few other individuals, and they called Jiro Uncle Jiro, and they seemed surprised. They told me that when Anastasia told them, "Oh, Master Jiro," they were like, "Oh, the master part is new," and you've only ever called him Master Jiro. So that must have been a while ago.
Arata is staring at you.
He's just like he's like, I don't know. He's just like full disclosure, like absolute big shrug. Don't. He's like, I don't know, man.
And just he's just like, they didn't fucking tell me.
I think they only just figured it out recently.
Oh my god.
I think Anastasia jogged their memories.
And she didn't tell me for some reason.
uh
No, actually that one's a little more believable. She is like really, oh god. I don't know how old Anastasia is, but she is very young.
mhm. Well, she's not from here.
She's not from here either. You see him like pause and he says, a while back I had to explain what snowmen were to Anastasia.
Oh wow.
And I think she got the wrong point because I remember her calling them, what was it? What was it she said? She said guardian warriors.
Oh. Oh dear. Um, not quite.
Not at all. He
Oh.
sounds very like strained. And he's like, she's she doesn't really get like a lot of things about the material plane, but she seems eager about learning, so she kind of shrugs.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Well, as you can imagine, Leo and Camille weren't stoked about the idea that they maybe had. Oh, that was the other thing. Well, yeah. So they weren't stoked about the idea of being connected to a deity. And okay, the Valor Room, whatever. But the thing was, I cast Identify on their charms, and it was made by a very powerful celestial, I could tell. And then there's the fact that they know celestial and they don't know how. And they don't remember where they got these charms, which were made by a celestial. So my thought is maybe they got these a long time ago at the same time that they learned celestial or whatever, and maybe that was in the Valor Room. I don't know. Is there a deity associated with the Valor Room? Or any of them, any deities that pass through?
Um, hmm. I'm trying to decide what I should roll for this.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Arata says, like, Arata, like, really, really thinks hard on it. I think I'm just gonna roll a really quick history.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Oh, buddy, okay. I think that was their history
Oh.
roll, was it? Yes. Okay.
Yeah, 19.
Yeah. I think what ends up happening, like, Arata is really, really trying to think hard on it. He's like trying to like remember, has there been a deity in the Valor Room like this whole time? And like, no, he shakes his head and he says, if there's a deity in the Valor Room, I I've never met them.
Hmm. Huh.
But
It could have been before your time. Only
yeah.
because the Giro thing leads me to believe that it was before even you knew about the Valor Room.
And Arata nods and he says, hang on, I have to remember what the
Hmm.
what the X name was. Hang on.
Yep.
Okay. And he kind of, like I said, he nods and he says, the thing is, um I've heard Unnamed and Prima Donna talk about uh someone who used to frequent the Valor Room.
Hmm. And they've been there a while?
They've been there like a while.
Mm. Mm-hmm. Hmm. Well, I mean,
But like,
that's a lead.
mm, it was there was something Sasha talked to me about.
Oh?
Um, the one time they were staying, well, Sasha, Sammy, and
That's right.
yeah, we were staying, and you had to like do something, so I invited
Yes.
them to the Valor Room for a sleepover.
Mm-hmm.
Anastasia never had a sleepover. She was really excited about that.
Aw.
Um, uh, and he says Sasha heard something similar from the named as well, and well, I talked to her about it, and it
Oh, did she say something about the silence around it? That sounds like something she'd do.
Okay, Avi cannot remember the exact wording.
Uh-huh.
But Arata says there was something she said that unnamed mentioned the creator of the velour room.
Oh. Oh.
I never
Thought about it?
I've never even thought about it, but when it was brought up, it felt familiar and I couldn't figure out why.
Hmm. Uh, huh. Is it possible maybe you... I don't know. Were told it a long time ago and forgot?
He kind of like clicks his tongue and he says, I don't know, but when I saw Leo and Camille's charms,
Hmm.
I got that same feeling again.
Mm-hmm. Yes. They described it as, like, trying to remember a dream. And, well, they pointed out that it would be fairly odd for you to have the same sensation, considering.
I
How strange. Well, that's worth looking into, I suppose. I mean, largely to just sort of figure out that little personal mystery, but the other thing is, it may or may not be connected to this other um, deity problem that they have. I don't know if you've heard it, but
I don't think he has. I look at our audience member.
I want to make
Look,
sure it's okay.
yeah,
um,
real quick. Let us know.
ah,
Okay, they have not mentioned the Quinn issue to Arata.
okay. Okay. Is he allowed to? Ah,
Yeah, like
okay.
I think what Arata says is that why Camille was trying to look into Yiddish gods?
Yes, he mentioned something about finding a book. Um, one of their friends has made an oath, it seems, hopefully by accident, to one of the less savory Yiddish gods. Um, and, well, I mean, it could be coincidental, it could have nothing to do with this other thing, that whatever deity's connected to the Valor Room, I mean, presumably. Um, or it could be related, because, well, the Valor Room is connected to Dalcor, the plane of dreams, and this deity that their friend made an oath to is apparently a god of nightmares.
And Arata's brow does furrow, and he's like, "Ooh, I do not like the sound of that."
Yeah, yeah. Let's see. They called it the names that they knew were the Crawling Chaos and the Great Father.
And they pause as Arata kind of like mulls that over, and he's just that personally doesn't ring a bell.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. I was trying to connect it to something I heard while I was here, but I don't know enough to make a solid connection. But you might know something, just considering you've lived here. There are two separate deities who I heard of related to something. One of them, supposedly the nicer of the two, called the Father Spirit. Does that sound at all familiar?
I'm gonna roll him another history.
Mm.
Oh no.
Oh no.
That was an 8 on the dice.
Well.
I mean, if we're still gonna keep talking about it, he'll have, like, another chance to roll for it, but he kind of... The pause is longer this time, but he kind of just eventually shakes his head again.
Mm-hmm. Alright, fair enough. The other one, who's actually the one I'm more worried about, is the evil god, whose the name I was given was Teftkirka, but I don't know his domain.
I'm gonna roll a quick religion.
That's fair.
Yeah. That modifier is still the same for you, my boy!
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Right.
13's a little better.
It's a 13. Yeah, so I'm trying to think how he...
Professor did only give him a name, and like the fact that he's like evil, that's kind of it.
Yeah, I think there's a pause. And because Arata's like Yiddish, he's probably been to like a couple of shrines.
Mm-hmm.
Ooh, excuse me. I know for a fact that he's been to at least 3.
Mm-hmm.
So he probably like did like a little precursory research before he like decided he was atheist.
Right, but he also is that, and so
yeah. So he's just he kind of like shrugs and says, I feel like I might have heard something about that when I was still at my hometown, but I don't really know much.
Mm.
I did not get a good vibe from it, though.
Mm. Where was your hometown, out of curiosity?
And he kind of puffs out his cheeks. And he says, eventually, Fuafuki. It's this tiny, small town out in the middle of nowhere. It's so far away from everything. There's like hardly anything to do there.
Mm-hmm.
When I was younger, that place got cut. Oh, hi, Maki. Hi.
Kitty.
Are you gonna interrupt me because you want affection? Oh my god, yes you are. Okay.
Kitty.
Hang on. Hang on.
Aww.
A little meow for the microphone. Anyway.
The town a long time ago ate something?
Yeah, a long time ago, when I was younger, the town used to get covered in fog regularly. It was part of the rainy season, but like we got rain kind of often, especially during like late autumn.
Oh. Well, I don't know. I suppose we should all just, keep a lookout for any information. Just
Yeah.
see if there's anything.
Sorry, I love the fact that the professor has two pieces of a puzzle and has not realized that they go together yet.
I know! He doesn't. He's like considering it. He's like, okay, I know an evil god, and they know an evil god. Are they the same god? But then he's like, there are like 8 million gods in Yeddo. Like,
What are the chances?
what are the chances?
1 in 8 million.
But yeah, he just sort of like shakes his head like, whatever. Like, I don't think we're going to figure out more without doing a little more digging.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there's like a bit of silence, and then
Yeah. I'm really tempted to roll another survival just
oh,
to see how
please,
it's going.
yes.
He got the same goddamn roll, actually.
Let me roll again as well. Oh my god.
Arata is struggling.
Remind me what the thing is. Is it like exclamation roll?
Yeah, exclamation roll or exclamation R, and just to do math, you
Just put the numbers
the
in.
addition. Yeah.
Alright, let's see. Yeah, 22.
Oh my god. You get another goddamn fish, and Arata's just kind of like, he kind of just like puts his chin like on his knuckles, like in that one pose.
Yeah.
And he just, Maki, stop trying to chew that. Stop! Don't bite that. Stop! That's my hair tie. Bitch cat. Okay. Here, to play with this. And Arata just kind of like Arata just kind of he just goes, I always liked fishing, but I've never been good at it.
Oh.
And he kind of just points at himself and he says, I'm impatient and also kind of a twink. The bigger fish.
The bigger fish what?
The bigger fish just always just escape me.
They win the tug of war.
They sure do. My lawyer told me not to disclose my relationship with the fish. Sorry, I'm just thinking about that goddamn meme. They explained.
Gosh. you can come by if you like and see what Sammy decides to do with this.
Yeah,
Uh,
he'd probably make something pretty good with it.
Probably.
He is having fun, by the way.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's
He is
good.
enjoying this. Even if he's not like doing great TM,
Yeah.
he's enjoying it.
Yeah. Yeah. I think after a bit of a little more just sort of like comfortable silence and like maybe some like tips. um
He's trying.
yes. Eventually um uh Professor just sort of like uh gives a thoughtful look uh towards Arata, and he says, "Arata, how are you?"
How you feeling, buddy? I'm just gonna do it quick. All right, I guess you're not gonna lie.
Oh.
I'm not sure if this would be like a wisdom. Yeah, it's probably a wisdom. It's just a quick wisdom check. And he's just okay. He just kind of like, hmm. He does, and like the smile on his face kind of like fades a little. And he's just. I mean, I think right now I'm right. I'm all right, but in general, and he kind of
Mm.
just sighs and glances towards where the bobber of like his fishing rod is.
Mm-hmm.
um he just kind of watches it for a moment and he just goes, I don't really know.
Mm. Well, if I had to guess, not great. I'd be surprised if you were.
Something like that, I guess.
Mm.
I i just don't really know how to put it into words because
Mm.
and he pauses again because he really did just say he doesn't know how to put it into words. He still doesn't know.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just, I guess I'm just worried.
Mm-hmm. About a lot of things. About, uh, I mean, I can guess what one particular thing.
And he kind of nods like, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Mm. Well, and it uh, hasn't exactly been easy sailing up to this point. Um, your brother is still under Aegeus. Um,
Clicks his tongue at that.
mm-hmm. Azumi is still in a state. You. I don't think you ever. Well, I rather doubt you ever fully recovered from being erased from existence along with your friends.
And he
You.
does kind of like not really flinch, but you do see his like his posture kind of tense,
Mm-hmm.
but he doesn't really say anything in response to that.
Mm-hmm. You had your memory erased for a bit. There was an evil quarry for a hot second. You've taken your brothers to therapy, but what about you?
There's just this very, very long pause again, and Arata doesn't look up from where he's like watching the bobber kind of like go up and down with the water.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just Masaru's not a therapist, he's a counselor. And even if he was, I don't know what I would say. Because how would you say that to someone? How
With some difficulty, I suppose. Well, I don't suppose. I know, I guess.
what what do you say to someone who's been wiped from existence by something close to a god?
Hmm.
I I trust Masaru. He's a great guy, but I doubt he would be able to know where to even begin with something like that. I doubt anyone here would.
That's fair. I can understand that. There is some difficulty there in just finding somebody for those particular topics. Well, difficulty, more like a possibility. Well, I suppose what one would say is that one could say, I'm sorry it happened to you. I'm sorry it happened, period. It should not have gotten to that point. It should not have been your responsibility to bear that weight. Nobody should have to go through that experience ever. The fact that you came back does not nullify the fact that you went through something horrible.
And he takes a deep breath and he just kind of you see him kind of like wipe at his eyes, um, as if he were crying, but you don't really see tears, not yet.
Mm-hmm.
At any rate, ooh,
Mm-hmm.
almost went into the oh voice there. um, and he's just don't know if that makes me feel better.
It doesn't have to. It's hmm. It's worth being validated, hearing that what you're perceiving is what you perceived and how you feel is real and valid. And that really may only be the first step, really. It's I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not sure how one comes back from that specifically, because everyone I've ever met who got erased in a similar fashion never came back. The fact that you were able to bring your friends back to triumph is beyond incredible. It's unheard of. It's really impossible. And not only did you come back, bring the rest of them back, but you're still here years later. You endured. You stayed with your friends. Your friends have stayed together. You're all here, and yes, you may all be scarred, but you're still able to, on good days, laugh and hold each other close and bicker over a hot plate of curry. It truly, even though it hurts and it may feel like it it may feel like you're being swallowed up by the void some days, but the fact that you're here, that you're all here together, speaks to your resilience, your determination, and the strength of the bonds that you formed with your friends and with others. And I'm truly proud of you for that. I know I wasn't there, but I am.
Alright, well, it looks like that did not work. Give me a sec.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, don't mind me taking directly from the writing prompt I did earlier, because it's
I
easier to
was gonna
it's easier to
wasn't
script things ahead of time.
I was not gonna say it. I wasn't gonna say it.
I liked what I wrote before. I'm keeping it.
Yeah. That was a quick whiz save to see if Arata starts crying, and
mm,
he does.
mm-hmm. Yeah. I think Professor's gonna lower his pole and just kind of like scoot his yellow crate closer to Arata's and just put his arm over his shoulder. You know, give him a solid side hug.
Yeah, and he kind of leans into it. He's not like loud,
Mm-hmm.
by any means.
Yeah.
Um,
Just quiet
yeah,
tears.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And Professor's just gonna, you know, comfort him, rub at his shoulder.
And I think like after like a pretty long moment of him just kind of like letting himself cry and be held
And feel.
and like just feel it for a bit, he just kind of rubs at his face again.
Mm-hmm.
And I think what he ends up saying, he says, no, I did try to tell boss about it a while back,
Mm-hmm.
and he said something about how how proud he was that we were all still together and all still here, but I don't think he really understands it.
Maybe not. I'm sure he tried his best. But it's a awfully difficult thing to conceive of from scratch, so to speak.
Yeah, but it he kind of like falters as he tries to like figure out how to word what he wants to say.
Mm-hmm.
He says, it does mean a lot from someone who can even just kind of get it, I guess.
It does. It does. I I had to relearn that lesson myself recently. It's good to have somebody who gets it. Even if it's not completely, even if it's not a one-to-one situation. Sometimes it's just enough to have somebody who understands on some level.
Yeah.
Hmm.
And I think he's going to with one arm, return that side hug, and you do feel him kind of like squeeze, I guess, like
Mm-hmm.
press himself against you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good
And
hug.
he yeah, and he is very, very quiet, but you do hear him say, like, you hear him mumble, thanks. Um as he just kind of like takes a moment
Mm-hmm.
to try and gather himself.
Yeah. You're welcome, dear. Of course. Mm.
And there is another pause because he is Arata, he is the trickster. He does have to say something to lighten the mood, at least a little bit.
Uh-huh.
And he says, "Oh, by the masks, I really do feel better."
Good. I'm glad. Don't forget you can ask people. I know you love to take care of people, but sometimes you have to let other people take care of you.
Yeah, I'm still trying to learn that, I guess.
Mm-hmm.
He kind of wipes at his face again, or he kind of like falls into silence for a little bit longer. And he says, after a moment, he says, "Well, we're on the subject of talking about things I probably should be talking about with someone.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can I tell you something?"
Of course.
You see him pause again, and he's just, okay, I'm not entirely sure how to word it, but okay, well, way back when, um, well, Azumi, Azumi died,
Mm-hmm.
right? And there wasn't much that we could do aside from changing Endo's heart,
Mm-hmm.
so we did that. And then, almost immediately after, that's when we found out about the Holy Grail.
Uh,
And then
and then you had to do all that.
there was that, and then after that, there was the summer after, there was the whole thing with the other god.
Mm-hmm.
Well, she wasn't really a god, but might as well have been.
Mm-hmm. I think what I'm
I,
hearing is that you didn't have time to mourn.
yeah, I think
Mm-hmm.
I I don't really know if I don't really know if I really moved on from it, I guess.
Well, it's been only 2 years.
Yeah, and Azumi's back now, and I
Well,
don't think I talked to him about it, especially considering how he is right now, and
mm-hmm.
I don't really.
I think there will be a time, uh, to talk about that. Um, I don't know when that'll be, but it would be a good thing to address. But even though he is back, the fact remains that he was gone, and he was dead. And that was 2 years.
And I've never really lost to someone like that before. So
Mm.
I don't really.
It's very difficult. He was a friend, he was your age. It's difficult to see a peer die, especially. You know, it's one thing when it's a elder.
Thank you, audience. uh and there's like another pause as Arata kind of furrows his brows and he just goes, I don't really know what to do about it. Like,
Hmm.
I
It's unclear because he's here now.
yeah.
Well, you could always. Hmm. Well, and this isn't going to sound great, but pretend he's not and sort of process your grief from that perspective. Uh, mourn the person you lost, uh, the um, opportunities he lost in that time, because he did lose that time, regardless. Um, Mourn your friendship. Um, that was cut short, especially after he just helped you at the end. If he'd have survived, that could have been a terrific uh, allyship. I think you're still allowed to mourn that, and also be glad that he's back now. You
I mean, I
didn't.
already was kind of glad that he is back.
Mm-hmm.
Really, my only takeaway from all of this is that grieving is weird.
Oh, it's so weird. It really is. And there's no there's no uh there's no reliable pattern or uh constraints to it. I mean, you know, 600 years. And he just sort of, like, squeezes him. Like, 600 years it took me.
Are you really gonna make an old joke right now? Arata. Yeah, he probably does. He kind of like you feel him like shuffle in a way that's like kind of like nudging you, like he's
Mm-hmm.
still trying to joke despite the topic, and
Uh,
he's just old.
he just laughs. Yes. It is difficult. It is weird. But, I don't know, it's one of those things you've just sorta got to give it a go and figure it out along the way. Just make sure you put aside some time for it.
Yeah, yeah. All right.
Tuesday, 4 p.m. Grieving. Tuesday, 6 p.m. Zumba.
Well, there's a thought. Scheduling out your grieving, I guess. He does that like nudge again.
Whatever works.
I mean, I could always give it a shot.
Yes, you could.
You do notice that he is like despite the topic, he is like starting to feel a little better about it, and he has definitely stopped crying. Let's go with that.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
If your goal was to cheer him up, you have
Yes.
succeeded.
Yes, yes. Very good. Well,
I'm very tempted to roll another survival.
I was just going to say, like, Professor was just going to be like, alright, now after those tips I taught you, let's have one more go at it, alright?
Alright. Alright, I guess that means like I can roll
Advantage if you want.
yeah.
If only because the professor has been rolling super good up until now.
Yeah.
You're not gonna believe this.
Did you get another nat 20?
No.
Oh no.
I got a 6.
Oh, you mother pecker. You stole the luck this time. Okay. You got a 19 on the better roll.
Yo.
He
Oh.
he holds up the fish and he looks so proud of himself.
Oh, bravo.
What are you gonna say? Come on. Come on. One liner, come on. I'm blanking, god damn it. Is there nothing that the great trickster can't do? He just kind of like shakes the fish. He looks so fucking proud of himself.
Professor's just laughing. He looks so ridiculous. Uh, oh, we'll have quite the haul for Sammy, hmm?
Yes. Yeah.
Alright, let's pack it in, bring this back.
All right.
Okay.
And he is going to like help you pack everything up. I'm tempted to roll another history
Yeah, you may.
because I really want to see if he can remember something. At least if I can give him a little. Oh, okay.
Hmm? Oh, 18's really good.
It's really good. Give me a sec though. I need to like blow my nose.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
All right. You know how it is. I am very empathetic with my character's emotions.
I do. Yep.
Um. Uh. Okay, he did get an 18.
Mm-hmm.
While he is like helping pack everything up,
Mm-hmm.
and he probably like hurries off to like return the rod he rented, and
Mm-hmm.
as he's coming back, like he's like thinking about something, um and as he helps you out, he is like helping you, of course,
Mm-hmm.
but again, it is obvious that he is thinking of something before his brows furrow, and he looks a little confused by something.
Mm-hmm. Something up?
He maybe
Mm-hmm.
um you know how I said that like the thing Sasha told me about what a named said and
Mm-hmm.
the charm being familiar,
Mm-hmm.
and how they were like both the same kind of familiarity.
Mm-hmm.
I I don't know if I'm remembering something,
Mm-hmm.
and still looking confused. He takes a moment like he's trying to figure out how to word it. Um and he says, when when I he kind of frowns and he says, when we were erased,
Mm-hmm.
I ended up waking up in the velour room immediately after.
Mm-hmm.
There's like a little bit of a gap between when it happened and like I woke up.
Uh-huh.
But like I feel like something happened in between.
Mm-hmm.
I remember, did I see something?
presence, perhaps?
And you see him pause, and he says, in a very questioning tone, "A butterfly?"
A butterfly.
Not, not, I don't, I don't know if it was the same as Anastasia's butterfly, but that, that sounds right.
It was blue, I presume?
A deep, deep blue.
That does sound like the one I've seen. I wonder what it means. Does it symbolize something? Is it an omen? A message?
And there's another pause as Arata tries to like parse through this like hazy memory.
Mm-hmm.
Um and his expression like his expression was like kind of like screwed as he like as he looked like so confused, but like
Mm-hmm.
when he speaks again, that expression kind of softens,
Mm-hmm.
and, and like when he speaks, it sounds less like he is saying something and more that he is quoting.
Mm.
What does he say? He says, "Don't underestimate the power of your bonds. You are a lot more connected than you realize." Where did who said that?
Was that something you heard then? In
I must
between?
have.
Mm.
Oh, hi, audience. I actually don't remember how the fishing mechanic in Persona 5 works because of like how rare it was in that Let's Play to see. Hi.
Hi.
I don't remember fishing mechanics in Persona 5.
That's understandable. Um,
Oh, yeah,
yeah.
you
Uh,
asked if Arata, if that was something Arata had heard in between,
mm-hmm.
and he says, "I must have." That again, that sounds right.
Was. Did. I mean, the only thing you saw that you could remember is the butterfly. Is there a chance that the butterfly said it? I mean, it's not. It's certainly not a normal butterfly. I mean,
I
considering it was there, and also I can only see it when I'm using True Sight.
butterfly sounds half right. What? What? And he puts his head in his hands, like, ugh, it's like right on the tip of his tongue, and like he can't remember.
Mm-hmm. Professor just kind of like pats his shoulder, like, it's okay. I know you try.
And he's just, is that how they're supposed to feel?
What?
Dreams?
Yeah, for most people, they are maddeningly difficult to recall.
That's awful.
I know.
He just like groans loudly.
I mean, it's good for the bad dreams, but for the good ones, it's like, oh no, like it was so good, but where is it? You just can't remember sometimes.
Yeah. Sorry, I wish I could remember more.
Oh, it's okay. I mean, we're making progress.
Did we? I'm really confused. I don't know where we're standing at the moment. I mean, I know we're like here, we were fishing, like, I don't know where we're standing in terms of like this weird velour room butterfly conundrum.
I I'm not sure. I just know that we have more information than we did, and we've connected the information that we did have. So that's got to be progress. Unless we're wrong, in which case we'll have to undo it later. Try something else.
And he kind of nods, I guess. And he kind of like looks down at the fishes. And then, ooh, I'm gonna roll a quick D2 because I want to decide something.
Hmm.
He says, hmm. Whoever said that? Hi, Maki. Really are going to meow right in the middle of me talking, huh? Can you get off the laptop? Thank you. Right clicking on everything. Anyway. He says, whoever said that? I think they might have when they said it.
Might have what?
Been out of breath when they said it.
Oh. Huh. Now why would that... I don't know what to make of that. Well. Another mysterious puzzle piece, I suppose.
Yes. Where does this one fit, huh?
I don't know.
And he just kind of shrugs over dramatically before he's just, you know what else is out of breath? These fishes. Let's get them to save me.
Alright, yes.
And I guess that's where we're gonna end.
Yeah.
Alright, and thank you so much, Oatmeal, for playing with me.
Thank you. This was great. I enjoyed this a lot.
I enjoyed it very much too. And thank you so much for our audience for listening both now and in the future. For now, we are going to bid you a good time zone. Bye!
Bye.